Hello everyone, and welcome to my EastEnders Media News channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Next week, EastEnders will include drama as Zack Hudson and Whitney Dean get married and an infidelity scandal is made public. The affair between Whitney's friend Lauren Branning and her partner Zack ultimately surfaces in a dramatic way. Brittany ends up revealing that Zack and Lauren had slept together as Whitney and Zack were ready to tie the knot after the birth of their daughter. They were eager to keep it a secret when it happened a few weeks ago, but Whitney's stepmother Bianca Jackson was aware of the reality. Their postponed wedding day is back on next week as they choose to try it out. Whitney chooses to go on with the scheduled wedding later that day since Zack had not informed anyone about the postponed nuptials. After observing Brittany's peculiar behavior, she believes it's what Brittany wants, which motivates her to be married. She is unaware that Brittany is eager to tell everyone about Zack and Lauren after learning about them. As the day goes on, Whitney gets ready and has a heart-to-heart conversation with Lauren. As he gets ready to marry Whitney, Zack hides the truth from Martin and Sharon about the reasons behind his intense remorse. Brittany wonders if she should keep Zack's secret, but the teenager can no longer handle it all. Later that day, Whitney approaches Zack as she makes her way down the aisle holding baby Dolly. As the couple exchange vows at the altar, Brittany also arrives, but she can't help but admit that Zack and Lauren had slept together. The crowd will undoubtedly gasp at this moment, but will Whitney take Brittany at her word? Is this what prompts Whitney to leave the BBC serial opera? We know she's departing at some point very soon. Nothing further is disclosed, so spoilers for the remainder of the week are kept well under wraps. Watchers will have to wait until next week's programs to see whether Whitney confronts the couple and whether the wedding proceeds. Next week on EastEnders, there will be dramatic events leading up to Whitney Dean's departure. An infidelity scandal is revealed at Whitney and Zack Hudson's wedding in later scenes. The affair between Whitney's friend Lauren Branning and her partner Zack ultimately surfaces in a dramatic way. Brittany ends up revealing that Zack and Lauren had slept together as Whitney and Zack were ready to tie the knot after the birth of their daughter. They were eager to keep it a secret when it happened a few weeks ago, but Whitney's stepmother Bianca Jackson was aware of the reality. The startling secret is revealed in typical soap opera manner the next week, but will Whitney take Brittany at her word? Is this what prompts Whitney to leave the BBC serial opera? We know she's departing at some point very soon. The BBC One soap opera updates viewers on Whitney and Zack's newborn daughter, Dolly, but otherwise keeps the remainder of the week's spoilers well under wraps. After learning they need to register Dolly's birth later in the week, Whitney visits Zack after learning of the wedding bombshell. However, things take a tragic turn when Peach's baby loss certificate gets lost in the mail. Those who watch soap operas may remember that Whitney and Zack were devastated to find out last year that their pregnant daughter had Edwards syndrome. 18 weeks into her pregnancy, Whitney started the process of getting a termination and gave birth to her daughter Peach. This news coincides with the fact that fans of EastEnders will soon have to bid goodbye to Whitney as actress Shona McGarty gets ready to leave the BBC One soap opera after 16 years. The popular soap opera Shona, who played Whitney, left the show last year, and her final scenes are scheduled to air shortly. "I have decided to spread my wings and will be leaving EastEnders," Shona said at the time, as reported by The Sun on Sunday. "I've enjoyed my time on the show. I have formed enduring connections and family and have been entrusted with some fantastic narratives." She went on to say, "It wasn't an easy decision because I've made so many friends," in an interview with Inside Soap magazine. "I've seen a lot of individuals come and go, but Whitney has remained one of the most consistent characters. I've been honored to be trusted with such hard stuff year after year. I've had so much fun and worked on so many narratives, some of which have been delicate. It's going to be sad to say goodbye to my friends and family, but it was the right decision for me because I want to do other things," the actress continued. "I've had a rather decent run after 15 years. Next week, in anticipation of Whitney Dean's Shona McGarty, shocking departure from EastEnders. The truth is revealed. Since Whitney's fiancé Zack Hudson, James Farrar, learned that she had squandered their pregnancy money to purchase custody of Brittany Wainwright, Lola Campbell, a disturbed adolescent who comes from Bianca Jackson's, Patsy Palmer, estate, Whitney's chances of happiness have been steadily declining. He went to Peggy's to drown his sorrows in vengeance and met Lauren Branning, Jacqueline Jossa, with whom he had sex. Bianca quickly learned of the affair and threatened to reveal it, but she was shocked when Whitney asked Zack to marry her. Whit goes into labor and the women wind up trapped in Bianca's taco van at this week's joint stag and hen do. It all goes horribly wrong. Actress Jacqueline described Lauren's emotions in the heat of the moment by saying, "There are so many different thoughts going through her mind. She needs to try to calm Whitney down, but she also needs to get them out of there, since they don't want Whitney to give birth in a taco van." There's also the terrifying possibility that, after having slept with her fiancé, she might give birth to Whitney's child. But in the end, Whitney and the baby's safety are the only things that matter to her. Fortunately, everything seems to be going smoothly. After giving birth to baby Dolly, the couple appears to be overjoyed in later scenes, but their happiness is short-lived as Zack has to go back home and urge Brittany to keep the affair a secret. Given that she was the one to inform Zack that Whitney had purchased her, we already know that Brittany struggles to maintain decorum. Back at the apartment, Whitney is concerned about her foster daughter's actions and thinks Dolly's visit has upset her. She then makes the decision to take advantage of the fact that the wedding has not been postponed and to go ahead and be married. Lauren calls while she's getting dressed, and the two have a heartfelt conversation filled with guilt. Brittany receives some food for thought as Lily Slater, Lilia Turner, discusses Whitney's past unsuccessful relationships with her. She then decides whether or not to keep Zack's secret. When Brittany meets the happy couple at the altar and watches the bride walk down the aisle with Dolly in her arms, she can't resist revealing everything. Whitney is shocked by the information, but given her difficult background, would she accept it? Lauren quickly pulls Whitney aside during Sonia's dinner party at number 25 and gives her a warning. Either she tells Zack the truth or Lauren will. 6. The nightmare of bullying. Zack overhears Lauren and Whitney fighting at the Minute Mart over Brittany and demands an explanation. Zack retreats and Whitney covers, infuriating Lauren. Later, Brittany is found dejected by Whitney and Lauren, who learn that she had an altercation with bullies on her way to school. Whitney follows Zack's advice as usual and goes in search of the bully in question. Thanks for watching. If you like this video, so please don't forget to subscribe to my channel and don't miss any updates.